Indeed we are, Sheev. Should be a good one here between OG and Nigma, and I think we've got exactly what you want to see draft-wise from these two teams, right? I'm seeing 4 heroes on both sides that are going to be running around all the while you have Anna farming away on the Deucer, ILTW on the Terrorblade. You know, this game, it's got all the parts covered. We're going to have team fight. We're going to potentially have the big, beefy late-game carries. We got it all.
This is going to, you know, they're saying the battle of the mids. You know, I'm excited for Hoodwink versus Tiny because I haven't seen the matchup really. I don't know how it's going to go. Tiny feels like he's going to farm just fine. You can also use your Quelling Blade to cut the tree when you do see that the stun is coming for you. But I think this is the battle of the fours. The way that Sox has been playing for the side of OG and the way GH has been securing stuff, and I'm really liking Clockwork right now. So I'm looking at these two, seeing what they're going to be able to do inside early game, because I feel like their positioning is going to be so crucial to disrupt these big team fight combos that will be coming out, especially from the side of Team.Miracle. We have Darkseer and Warlock. These two heroes have been always known as these kings of team fights. So let's see if OG can break it up. And of course, I have to talk about what T-Governor was saying. Testing out a lot of things inside of lobbies, just having some fun with Spell Amp and all that. Sharpshooter with Blood Rage and Ancient Apparition Vortex, you can do some ridiculous damage in the later stages. Just looking at the numbers, they'll build toward it as well. So we'll see what it all comes down to. We'll see how much damage it is going to be able to do, especially for something like Terrorblade. Pre-BKB, like there's some one-shot potential if he is fully amped up. I want to see a Veil on the side of OG too, so we will see what we get going.
There we have it. Nigma ready to look for some action already. What's a big fatal? One's on the fourth, and they're on top of Saxon. GH, he will go down, but Saxon's going to be the first to fall as Nigma claim first blood.
GH gets the kill, Thompson gets the rebuttal, so Thompson will be enabled nicely. Now I'm gonna be watching at mid and the 4 positions for the most part. Side lane still definitely will be a bit exciting, but it's a Warlock with the Terrorblade, so we'll see lots of heal sustain. Bloodseeker also, lots of heal sustain. And we'll see what Soxa does with these early movements. Instantly TPing top.
Okay.
So wants to secure Medusa's farm right away here.
And how long will this sort of last with the 3 of them up here? But like, you look to the bottom half, is Seb going to struggle a lot?
They've done this quite some times. I've seen them do these kind of things a lot of times when they see a passive hero like Warlock that can't actually force a hero out. So, you know, I said one of the times that they were actually going to break it up early on, but they actually don't. You know, they like to just leave this kind of tri-lane action when they do have these super carries on the side of OG.
Sure. Because down bottom is Seb. He can deal with the pressure here from the 2 of them. You know, Terrorblade, Warlock, not the most threatening of lanes. Obviously, a very safe lane for RTW, right? But nothing that should be killing Seb whilst he's on his own.
No. Unless he just steps up just way too far. He will have struggled to get some last hits because we will see Kuroki just follow him around, but every time there's a blood right, he secures that range creep. So far, so good for Seb.
All right, and then yeah, you know, overall, as we were saying, it's exciting stuff, draft-wise from both teams. Yeah, I gotta ask, who's do you prefer? Who do you think has got the better draft here?
Oh, it's tough to say, really. Like, these Terrorblades have been very impressive lately for me, but I mean, Medusa at the same time, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really close as GH. The tri-lane, they will be able to get the kill with the 2 supports, and they're keeping them off of the wave. Ana getting full free farm up there. I gotta be honest, I'm a little worried just because like Terrorblade, I feel like he could just get one shot at bust from like sharpshooters and tree line. So eyes on him for BKB timings and stuff like that. And if they get the pipe early on and mind control, Nigma could set the tempo, but it does feel a little scary if it does get to later stages.
We're gonna definitely need to see some sort of sacrificial plays from Nigma with bodies being thrown in between the Terrorblade and the sharpshooter.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you know, we're gonna see some real sort of teammate plays this game.
Yeah, and they do have some ways to be able to play around cogs in particular. That's the one thing I did see. Clockwork got picked up. Instantly, they picked the Air Spirit. They already have Hoodwink, who can use Sharpshooter to bonk himself out really quickly. Air Spirit, you can kick the Clockwork out, even save some buddies by rolling into cogs and kick your teammate out. So, yeah, lots of different fun stuff coming out. This game is GH again.
GH! Oh!
He's able to get away.
He's all right, but he's, as you said, he's definitely sort of drawn the short straw, right? He's playing into the lane where there's one of him, there's 2 supports on OG.
Every time he gets low as well, that's where we see Seb able to thrive a little bit more bottom. The thirst stacks builds up. He's able to actually trade some hits with Kuroki and contest.
And trying to get aggressive onto Saxa. Mind control.
Mind control.
Mate, he's got to be a little careful as well. Anna just steps across and mind control. Pop and Verify won't save him.
And now GH as well. He's just going to go down.
Well, I think that's the easiest double kill Anna's ever had. And, well, you know, if you watch his pubs, he's had a lot of easy double kills. But, well, there you have it. Just hand it to him.
Yep. Mid so far, fairly even. Just kind of trading that farm back and forth. The low armor of Tiny. Thompson's able to get some nice harassment there. We haven't seen any rotations, at least toward these runes just yet. GH Actually looking like he's going to swing toward mid. Maybe going for a toss-back play, it looks like. And Soxa suicides himself.
And so from these mids as well, as you said, you've been seeing Thompson sort of crushing it in pubs on this hero.
A couple times.
You expect sort of what just the full playmaking build. Oh.
They cut the tree, they stop the stun.
They've got him trapped in the cogs.
But he gets out quickly.
He's away. GH tries to dive in, but the Fairy fire's up, and with the TP over from Saxa, GH won't move in anymore. Thompson's going to be fine.
The 2 games I believe that I saw, Miracle does have to be a little bit careful. Stun. Will connect.
Oh, hello.
Roll is off, but might still just go down the toss.
It's close. Oh my goodness.
He gets him.
We're getting these moves already here. The sort of the 1% HP plays as he'll survive. Thompson not quite able to get that. Let's see if, okay, Saxon's fine. Able to get the high ground roll away.
And both offlaners, I think, are the ones that really have drawn that short straw. We see My Control. He's level 4, 12 last hits. We see Bloodseeker Seb, also level 4, 9 last hits. So they're the ones going to be struggling to get some enhanced timing for themselves.
Sure. I guess that's more expected in Seb's situation. So the fact that he's kind of close to Darkseer is not bad for him, seeing as he's been on his own down here.
Yes. Meta is used at the moment here. Trying to put some pressure. Soxa, roll off the mark there. Can't quite get any aggression onto Kuroki. I like that I've been seeing this more and more. The reflection early on these Terrorblades too. Just being able to use your mana, utilize it, and if you do see any pressure coming your way, it is just nice. It's nice to be able to utilize like the Bassi aura that the Warlock does provide.
See GH in Mind Control, trying to get aggressive onto Ana. Unlikely to have anywhere near the damage though, Ana. Oh.
They actually get on top of him, though.
With these snakes, they're giving the mana back.
It's doing pretty good.
I mean, Ana's standing his ground. He's feeling confident in the backup that's coming. The Saxa's in. Roll forward onto GH. They're going to be able to take down the clock. GH goes down. Mind Control has to hide in the trees. You saw there just the confidence of Ana and his teammates. He can stand his ground, get the hits in. Mind Control.
They know he's still up here.
He's got to hide. He does have a TP.
They did the scan on the south side, so they know he didn't go that way. But yeah, maybe expecting him to have TP'd out. As Miracle now making a rotation. He's smoked up.
Oh, and Ana's still low. Miracle is he able to get in on this toss into the avalanche. He's got one. He's going to be able to take down both of them. A beautiful rotation from Miracle. Will put an end to sort of the reign that Ana's been having up here. He's been having quite a nice time indeed with the kills that he's been granted, but Miracle making an all-important move there for Nigma.
I'm loving these early moves already. 6-5 with a Medusa and a Terrorblade in a game. Usually you expect some kind of sitting back and farm, but no, we're seeing some very active movements already coming out here. Deep ward placed. We do see that
Miracle's still top.
He is still in the area.
Well prepared for this move. Once again, Miracle steps in. He grabs another.
Bang, bang.
Radiant structures.
Nice moves playing around that Darkseer, helping out My Control a little bit. He's still low, though, and he's got the thirst. Soxa might go for the snipe.
Saxa. Oh,
the ward sees him.
With the dodge. And Miracle's here, so now Saxa, he's in a bit of trouble.
He's got a full combo as well. That's very likely to just one-shot him.
Don't breathe.
Ooh.
The creeps. They've outed him.
Can you get the full combo on him? The slow won't be able to get the full combo.
It might just be enough with a few punches, though. And it is. Slaps him down with the big old tree. Another kill for Miracle's Tiny.
Super early movements. Thompson not going to be matching those himself this time around. So Miracle coming out ahead in this laning phase just with these early rotations. Yeah, very nice. Ana now goes back. He's going to be able to farm these jungle stacks that have been prepared a little bit by No-Tail. But some excellent moves by Miracle, helping out the Darkseer. My Control definitely needed that.
I mean, for Thompson, what sort of moves do you expect to see him make? Like, where's his game going to take him early on? Are you looking towards the top? Are you looking to try and make plays onto the Terrorblade? Can you make plays onto ILTW here?
I think so. It's just the bane of Terrorblade's existence is high burst magical damage, and he's got that built into this Hoodwink sharpshooter. So I do think he can make the moves bottom. And now Seb is also 6. And he is going to be going for the Veil build on the Bloodseeker. So, as you mentioned, spell amp aplenty. So definitely going to be eyes on these sharpshooters as No-Tail. Farm that 5 gold. I'm really excited to see how much damage it's going to do.
I see it. If they can find Mind Control is very low in these trees.
Dire's top tower
is under attack. They see him. He's going to try and run. You can't run from that. Another kill here for the 2 of them up top.
And equipped Xip.
Radiant are scanning.
Miracle's on the hunt again. Look at him. He is He is brutal this game.
He's just up and down the map.
Yeah, no mercy whatsoever with these early rotations. Buys all these early items, so won't have that early of a blink dagger, but still is able to make these movements. As we do see these deep wards placed down, of course, the ward to be able to watch if there's any stacks going on, of course, on this side. Also on the dire side to watch out if any ancients are being stacked, but none just yet. Saksa and Thompson, they're looking for him. They've got the damage if they get onto him.
Hello. The Centaur, the neutral actually helping out with a bit of setup here as they've got him caught. The Centaur though, it is lovely. The angle he is. There we have it. Thompson, can he get out? If he gets away with this, he can. Saxon's going to be the one left behind as Miracle will manage to clean him up, but Thompson gets the job done. Cost him a support, but it's dead Terrorblade at the end of the day. Thompson's going to be happy.
Dire's top tower
Might lose
is
one of their
under
wards
attack.
here, I do believe. The bottom one here maybe
Radiant's
gets taken
bottom
out. They actually
tower
don't.
is
They
under
actually place the
attack.
other one. They look for the other one right around where the Terrorblade was positioned. So this one might actually linger for quite some time. Miracle though, continuing to be active, and they do see Thompson's rotation. The ward that they do have on the Ancients from Team Nigma will see that the Hoodwink's here.
See if Thompson is still able to achieve something. 5 seconds till the sharpshooter's back up. Some pressure coming in onto Ana. He's going to need backup. It's on the way. Stacks of TP's in. Vacuum back on
actually grabs
Ana.
him.
For the one charges, but seeing huge amounts of damage there
Dire's
coming
top
out from
tower is under attack.
RTW already at this stage of the game with the Metamorphosis. Just a little bit too much for Ana to try and stick around in lane against as GH
On Saksa.
got the catch. Saxa. He's not going to be able to roll out of this one as GH is able to get the
Dire's
walk in, and
structures
more than
are
enough damage here,
fortified.
buffed up by the Iron Shell of Mind Control. As Nigma can continue to keep this top
Dire's
space
top
nice
tower
and safe
is
for
under
RTW
attack.
to keep pushing
Oh, he
on.
blocks him with the acorn shot. Look at that.
And now with the rupture,
but Miracle's here. There's a lot of damage too that comes from
Into the
this.
combo. Not quite Thompson. He's able to finish it off here with a sharpshooter. Another move made here as Thompson starting to get active, and successfully so. Kill after kill now for the Hoodwink.
And he does take the Ironwood tree. I was wondering if he's going to keep the Keen Optic or not for himself, but he keeps that so he can do his combo as well. He can stun with that Ironwood tree. And the stats. Very important to have any extra bonus stats versus a Tiny. Also the raindrop, these little things will keep him alive versus some of these combos early on. Early rotation from Team Nigma with the ILTW Terrorblade. We'll get the tower. It's deep though.
Straight in underneath the tower. Miracle wants to get in. GH. Oh, no.
Hey, they're gonna. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Let's use
Tiny
it.
Airlines. I mean, if there was ever any player that didn't deserve getting Tiny Airlined, it was GH, but he just did. Miracle's like, we're going in. GH is like, what? And, all right, that GH there in the mid. And he's going to get a refund on his flight ticket. That was not the experience he was after.
Yeah, it happens. Ooh, Miracle does miss the catapult last hit there.
Radiant's
But yeah,
bottom
Fail is
tower
online.
is
They've got
under
Ice
attack.
Vortex level 2. So, as we said, Spell Amp will be there for OG. But ILTW is getting really good farm and is able to pressure towers easier than the side of OG.
Yes, so he's getting just that bit more.
And okay, so Thompson, it's going to just be a straight Ags Rush. I saw in some of his games he did do this as well.
All right.
Does skip out that Aether Lens. It's also more amp. More amp and status resistance reduction, and it's just it's a lot of damage. It's only got like an 18-second cooldown for a
Radiant's bottom
350
tower
damage
is under
nuke.
attack.
It's quite strong, especially versus frail heroes like a Terrible.
Yeah, and it's a boomerang. I mean,
is a boomerang. It looks cool.
Boomerangs are just pretty cool.
It is.
You know, with the impact up, you can have a boomerang. Who's going to pass up on that? Not Thompson.
I can
Dire's
only
middle
see
tower
some
is under attack.
expect some disgusting boomerang into status reduction into like a mystic snake hits them and it stuns them for 3 seconds when he's got the stone form
Radiant's
thing on it
bottom
too with the
tower
eggs.
is under attack.
I mean,
Potential.
it is going to get
Radiant
down to
structures
sort of
are
this
fortified.
game where, you know, at what stage is RTW going to have to get a BKB? Or
Yes,
does he not?
absolutely.
Can he just build full stats, so he will need a BKB?
I think he's going to need one. They'll have the pipe coverage from Mind Control early. He knows that all this magic damage will be coming up, but it does feel like he'll need it at some point. Miracle already has Blink, though. So these initiations and GH being
boy.
level 7 already
And
has
Fairy
had such a
Trinket.
good start. And yes, the Fairy Trinket, of course, as we see on these Tinies every single time, it does feel like. And who's got Possessed Mask? Of course, both carries have Possessed Mask.
There we go. Nice bit of balance here between OG and Nigma as Ice Frog graces us with some even RNG to make sure the game is as close as possible.
An early meta, another one, going for the towers. As we said, Nigma will be dictating the pace for these tower pushes a little bit easier.
Comes in with a combo, hooks on the follow-up. Let's see if they've got enough to bring him down.
Oh, the bot.
He's getting dropped here by Karate. Vacuum as well. The three of them, they're going to be able to run down Ana. The Medusa will fall. Ice Blast coming out of return.
Off the mark.
GH, Mind Control, Miracle trying to continue to push forward. The keep on the Miracle. Miracle still somehow alive, but with the stick charges, finally he'll fall. But it'll cost the life of Saxa. With ILTW turning up, Seb's got no place in this fight. He has to run.
They're healing up by LTW as well. GH gets on top of the AA. Thompson has to scurry away. As the Ancients, ILTW will be able to take these
There
away.
we go. A little bit of a bonus as well for Nigma off the back of that fight. A 3-for-1. And a nice double stack of the Ancients that ILTW is able to get involved in cleaning up.
And we mentioned, the battle of the 4 position. Sox is struggling this time. 1, 6, and 6. GH, he's level 8 with the hood already. He's got his Aghanims already queued up, so definitely some great potential for this Clockwork to just continue to do these amazing plays for himself. He is enabled a little bit better because he's got that Iron Shell to work with. Miracle.
And seeing with the jump mid, sees an opportunity to get on top of Notel and take the kill. Thompson turns, hit the bush back, but GH, he's ready to go in on him. Traps Thompson. Thompson trying to break his way out, but he can't. Gets dragged back by the vacuum of mind control. As Nigma bringing the action now to pace. They're going to get the jump on Anna. Toss back, but Anna, he's able to put the stone gaze. Nigma, they'll back off for now. Gosh, the ultimate goes off here for the Medusa. Seb, go for a rupture onto GH. GH, he's out with a TP, and he's away.
See ya.
So rupture, I'm going to grant him anything there. Does have the arcane ring. So
Yog again.
Miracle, just no holding back here. Anytime he sees a hero in mid, he's in with a combo. Seb will live.
Nice blast. Don't have any follow-up.
Wants to do something with this.
They do.
He's going to dive in here with the roll, gets the control, owns the tiny follow there for Thompson with a sharpshooter coming in. They'll blast the head off Miracle.
On a battlefield.
Constant aggression as expected, 15 to 11. Ana still farming, but does feel like Nigma, they've gotten quite a bit more out of this early game. In particular, as we said, GH having a miraculous game so far, level 9. Constantly getting on the right targets, but the vacuum.
Ooh, that's going to break the combo. Stop Saxon from getting in onto Kuroki. Nice little save there from Mind Control.
And there is always things that we do have to factor in as well. This lead with Nigma, they are playing versus a Medusa, but they haven't. GH is just a killer.
Oh, there you go. Easy kill for GH. Sees
got a hood.
walking around.
He pops the hood.
He's a tanky boy. Not tanky enough. No, they'll get the kill in return. And you see GH, he's more than happy to take these trades, throwing himself in and getting himself some solo kills.
Look how aggressive they're playing around this ward, though. Another jump. They want no tail.
They're in with the combo. It's not quite enough, but with the fatal box down onto the two of them, they'll still be able to push on. Miracle getting himself another kill.
They're just running at them. Anytime that they do see anybody playing around this vision, they're just jumping for these kills because of this advantage they've gotten. Again, Miracle, the blinks up.
He's leading him with the avalanche. Toss not quite on the mark here.
Being a little careful, ILTW does get hit by the sharpshooter.
Gonna be alright though, healed up by the bottle, the shadow word. They're keeping ILTW at full HP. Whilst this metamorphosis continues to go, fortification has been forced out on OG's side of things.
I just saw LTW's item choices that he's queued up. Pretty interesting. Can they jump on him though,
Look at the
man?
burst, now Miracle, he's in with the counterplay, jumps over the avalanche, He's jumped down the stairs, trying to get out the side, but he's been ruptured. ILTW goes down, vacuum onto the three of them, as Saxon will go down in return. Anna trying to chase in here, but Nigma, they're on the retreat, and Mind Control's able to drop down the wall. It's Mind Control, he'll be fine. He's able to sneak away in the trees. Seb, he's pretty speedy. He's looking to see if he can get on top of anyone else. He's looking towards GH, but GH, not a target that Seb's going to feel confident pushing on towards. As OG will back off. They're happy with things as they are. They may lose Saxa, but they bring down ILTW.
Yeah, 2 times now they're able to slow him down as Ana. He's able to go back to his side of the jungle, get his farm going nicely. And yeah, there's definitely some really strong things that Nigma does have into later stages versus Medusa as well. Not only do they have Reflection, but they have Wall. So this Medusa, as she gets better, she gets stronger. They also will on the side of Team Nigma, so there is a lot of preparation that they do have as another hook shot. GH,
He's in.
but there's the sharpshooter to jump out of the cogs.
He's going to be fine though, GH. He can get away with this sort of aggression, as tanky as he is when there's only a couple of them around. Thompson and Notel just don't do enough to kill him. Especially if that sharpshooter, as you say, is having to be used immediately to break Thompson out of the cogs.
3 components toward.
What we got here? Highest amount of deaths in 17 minutes on any hero this event. But that's not a
deaths.
nice stat.
He is, he's taking a lot of them here. It is most of the supports dying though, right? It's 6 as well on
I mean, that's
Notel. They're 14.
these are professional deaths here. You know, this is some top tier stuff, as you say. Supports dying, it's all part of the plan, part of the greater picture here for both teams.
Let's see if ILTW looks to want to take that Nether Shawl. They did find one on the side of Team Nigma. Very good item this game versus all that magical burst that can potentially be coming.
I'm sorry if I missed you saying, but this is what you're on about, isn't it, on ILTW?
The item build that he's queued up. Yeah, he's queued up the Fusel, by the way, after the SNY and the Dragon Lines. I mean, that could be an interesting choice versus that Medusa, of course.
It makes sense. It does.
Not sure if he needs it, though, with the way that he is getting all this pace going.
I mean,
but
it depends, right? It depends how if you do the numbers, if you crunch the numbers, how much of a damage increase that is against the Medusa, if you take it into account. If you just like, compare it to just building up the more standard paired items. But,
it's very mid-game.
Sure, it's going to amp him up to the point where, you know, at this stage, when Anna's turning up with, you know, the Aghanims and the Manta, it's not going to quite be at a place where he's going to be feeling too happy if RTW has multiple illusions beating down on his mana pool.
Oh, Anna.
Oh.
See him for a second. He's actually the one just running in onto Kuro.
He's got backup. Saxon's going to come in with a roll onto Kuroki. Kuroki gets the bonds off for Kuroki. It'll go down. GH is going to climb up with the hook shot. Microdrop gets the combo off, but he's caught in the flip right. They've lost the darks here. Thompson will die as RTW looks to stand his ground with the Metamorphosis. Anna moving in. GH remaining on top of the Medusa, continuing to push him back. Saxon trying to peel Miracle and RTW away from Anna and Seb, but it will cost him his line. Saxon goes down. GH has the cold control onto Anna. Toss forward as well as they continue closing on the Medusa. The mana pool of Anna completely drained. Force him out to the side. Dive forward from Miracle as he jumps in. Avalanche in place. He's caught the Medusa. Anna's
got a toss.
And it's going to be enough. They bring him down as Nigma have no struggles here. Taking the fight as it all begins a little awkwardly. It starts with Anna sort of stepping over to Nigma's half and the map ready to farm, and then as soon as he's up the cliff, he kind of looks behind him and realizes, oh, there's a team between me and the rest of my teammates.
He's initiating as the Medusa as well. He pops the Stone Gaze, just runs in versus Kuro. And it's important to point out that's a fight without the Chaotic Offering. He didn't have it up, and he gets picked off right at the start. Miracle's still waiting on the sides.
Can he burst Thompson?
He's got the shawl. It's a lot of damage.
It is. I'm going to hook shot follow up. They got him. It's going to be enough. Cold push back as well. GH with just the right amount of control on top of the initiation from Miracle. Instantly get them another kill. The tips starting to get shared around here on the side of Nigma as off the back of that last few fights that we've seen. They're going to be feeling pretty good with the flow of this game.
Yeah, they're moving so fast. It's such quick movements across the map. They're just non-stop aggression with this Tiny, with this Clockwork. GH and Miracle just having a hell of a performance this game so far. Like, look at GH's farm. He's got a point booster with the hood. They gave him the Van Brace too. It's a 1900 HP Clockwork.
Oh,
what's
Miracle? Another grab. He gets it onto Seb, tosses it back. Seb's dead. I really do feel this so far. This game, this Miracle Tiny. Now, we're seeing why Nigma will pick it up. I believe what first pick wasn't it in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking pretty terrifying. 9-2-9. Miracle just doesn't stop.
Look at him. Him and GH just brutal killers. Vision from the rocket and then just immediate jumps. And he's the one who's actually been holding the shawl this whole time for all that extra magic damage. Seems very appropriate.
No, they're just completely in sync with one another. This game, Miracle and GH, you can really sense it.
And ILTW, I believe he did commit for it. So Diffusal is online. Does mean he can also fight when he doesn't have meta, which is kind of cool as well.
Got a bit of control, but it's slow.
Yep.
As melee illusion's going to do all the more.
And look at this, they're still just waiting. The rocket to scout, just keeping OG at bay. And yeah, Thompson, very underfarmed at this point, still doesn't have his Aghanims finished, just constantly getting hunted from Team Nigma. And they've claimed the triangle for quite some time here. Even blocking out, or putting a ward right outside the Ancients, it looks like, here with that sentry. And GH, ready to lead the charge. Super tanky Clockwork, halfway toward Aghanims. I mean, his HP is ridiculous.
Yeah, he can...
2200, that's your Clockwork support.
And as you said, the resistance on top of it all.
Yep.
He can absolutely afford to sort of just recklessly throw himself into the action.
And they're keeping themselves around this area, protecting that high ground ward that was placed before. OG not getting much farm on the map at all right now as Team Nigma threatening erosion. Oh, of course, look at that. A bottle and a DD with the Imp Claw as well too, so tons of damage. OG's got to try to fight this.
They know they're coming over, but Nigma, they also know that OG knows. They're going to smoke up themselves, look to take the fight outside of the pit.
2 Aghanims online. Medusa gets Ags, and the Hoodwink has Aghanims on OG. Let's see if it makes a difference this time.
Miracle's able to bring out Avalanche ready to start the top. They're getting forced out to the side. Anna, off the Stone Gaze, looks to turn things around. They've got the control here over the walls. This Tiny is getting fully focused by Saxa. The pushback comes in.
He can't
Miracle, he's still alive somehow, standing his ground while Frederick gets another combo off. As Miracle, he finally dies, but the damage has been done. They've lost Anna, they've lost Saxa, and they've lost No-Tail. As OG, they'll lose 3 here for the price of Miracle.
And you may have an Aghanims on your Hoodwink, but it hits a GH Clockwork, and it does 0 damage to him at all, as ILTW shows up with the Diffusal and just evaporates the poor Medusa. Even with the hook shot missing at the start here.
It didn't matter in the long run.
No. Great initiation.
there's always going to be that worry that if you don't take down the Tiny quite quick enough, another round of the spells is surely going to hurt, and they couldn't quite do it, despite it getting very low. There's the focus of the four of them. RTW able to claim the Aegis for himself.
Look at that, the sharpshooter, he's too tanky. They have Pipe and Hood. It's not doing much damage at all this game.
As well with the illusions, combined with the fatal bonds. There's the defusal slow. Seb's got to get out. We'll manage to force it down to the low ground. But GH, she's still closing in on Thompson and Hotel. They don't quite know where to run. As OG, they are going to try and take this fight.
There we go, they get GH finally. He's been quite a big thorn in their side. He's always getting on top of Thompson, is the biggest thing. Thompson's had to use sharpshooter defensively like 4 or 5 instances in a lot of these fights. So that mid solo is not having the effect that he would have liked as this Hoodwink because of GH. Just constantly getting on top of him. It's a big advantage here for Team Nigma now. This Terrorblade, absolutely massive. Building toward it, and Scotty as well too. Everything's looking great for them right now.
A brilliant time here, RTW. It's just, yeah, as we said, both teams having the same sort of dynamic. 4 fighters, 1 farmer, and it's just playing out a little smoother here for Nigma. 27-17.
So
7K
aggressive.
lead.
It's just, it really is just constant aggression. This Miracle and GH duo.
Yeah, they've just managed to achieve just that little bit more, really, than what OG have on the respective, the combination of Spirit and Hoodwink. It's just not quite been as fast-paced as that Nigma's managed to roll with.
No, Soxley just has to give his life half the time, it feels like. He's 1 in 11 on the Earth Spirit.
Dire's top tower
Every time he rolls in, he tries to save his Medusa, but it's still not able to protect him, as they're just getting on top of Ana. That was a timing, too, Ana. OG, they hit the double Axe timings right before that fight. It didn't matter. Nigma got the jump again, right on top of the perfect heroes. Kuroki setting up for the defense bottom. They're all TPing to the back. Looks like they're going to try to smoke out and catch OG off guard. All of them TPing to the back tower, leaving the fast TP open for ILTW in the front.
ROG gonna be ready for this. Nigma.
They scout. They see Saxa.
Okay. Whips there with the initiation. Saxa, he's not gonna take the feather bomb. Saxa's trying to get out to the side. The feather bomb comes down though. They'll give them the damage required to bring down the Earth Spirit. Quick stone gaze from Ana, but Nigma's able to step to the side. Turn and try and take down the golem, but with the shadow word, Kuro's golem's going to be kept alive, and now OG, they've just got to run with no stone gaze, protect himself. They've got to get out of it. Back in, walk down onto the 2 of them. Thompson trying to turn over towards GH, but GH is too tanky. Now RTW around. OG, they have to run. They've got no space and place to be had here in this team fight. As Mind Control's able to surge in, take down Thompson. Seb is trying to get back in here.
What's that?
GH to the corner. Oh no! It's straight into the cock, so that TP ain't gonna work, and it will fall. No Tail and Seb make it out of there.
It looked okay. The retreat at first for OG because they get the Miracle Tiny, but then the chase forward. Nigma just have enough to be able to catch the rest of them there. Even honestly, the little mini defusal slow as well. It's definitely working out.
This defusal's looking very good for the way that Nigma's playing.
Absolutely, yeah. Just constant aggression, super fast plays. Hook shot. Seb just able to dodge it. That was very close. As an Aghanim's about to be finished up for GH as well. As we said, incredible performance so far from this Clockwork. LTW, quite alone.
I mean, he's very alone.
Dire's
He's
middle tower
really
has
going
fallen.
for it here. I mean, he's got an Aegis. I think he's expecting there's going to be some backup. I mean, Kuro's trying to get over.
Can he get the Sunder? He's locked in place. The Force, he's dead.
I mean,
way too far up.
Yeah. One of those moments, I guess, where you just sort of forget what the team is. I mean, we'll see Nigma still come in, get Saxa, but that did not seem like a necessary death there from ILTW.
Nope, OG did sync it up really nicely with all their spell combos, though. They got the silence. He almost is able to get the Sunder off, but not quite. Yeah, very dark, very deep forward.
He was just enjoying life there, hitting down the tier 2 tower. I mean, he had an Aegis. Kuro was kind of there, but the rest of the team, they weren't going to be around to save him, even with the 2 lives.
No, they're making their own play bottom, and OG did capitalize this time around.
There we go, as you said, no surprise here. GH on the record timing, 50 seconds faster than the event's fastest Ags on clock.
Which was a very fast one as well, because that was, I believe, Saxa who had that incredible performance on the Clockwork the last time around. And we did see this as a score.
We did see that pretty insane Saxa game, and yeah, GH definitely making a case to really contest that sort of level of performance hit.
Absolutely.
Showing he can do it just as well.
Ooh. Lots of neutral items being left on the ground here. Kuroki's like, I'll pick it up for you guys. Don't worry. That's my job. Mind control, GH. Keep doing your plays.
As he said, GH is going to be able to start the action. Oh, a nice drag back into the second hook shot. They got enough damage though. They know the step's fine. This time, OG, they don't have a lot of backup. Straight enough to mind control. Ice Blades connects with a sharpshooter coming in. There's no chance for mind control. Saxa is going to look for the follow-up control onto GH. Miracle's coming in for the second. Oh, the Bonds, they're running under the tree. The Miracle's in with the combo onto Thompson, but they've already lost GH. Now Miracle's got to be careful. I said that OG also very apprehensive about continuing to keep this fight going. They're straight in the trees. They're TPing out. They don't want to be around when RLTW turns up.
Couple mistakes from Nigma. OG's capitalizing a couple kills here. They also saw ILTW TP down with that ward that they do have placed on that south side. So they did see Terrorblade getting in, so he's able to scurry away quickly on the side of OG. Do punch back a little bit. They need quite a lot more of those. And that was also a golem used, so a couple of slip-ups there from Team Nigma.
So the attempt here to try and take down Seb at the start, but he's a slippery fellow here with the Force Staff, the plate mail, the hood. He's also quite the tanky hero.
Now they're all back up though, and we still see like these big team fights, they are Nigma favored whenever they do get the proper jump here. Having the BKB on Miracle too should be much safer. Unless he gets like full chain stun down, he should get the BKB off and be able to survive versus the heavy magic damage that OG does have. And they're just the ones who tank the spells, right? ILTW, he's still that big carry to be able to sit in the back lines. Claim the outpost. Claim some high ground vision as well. Thompson buys himself the tome, so he's gonna have level 3 sharpshooter online. That big damage jump will be there. So they still do have burst potential if they can get onto those heroes quickly before the BKBs, but now Saxa, he's been found again.
Now they're going to be able to take him out, continue to set back that BKB timing that he's trying to scramble towards, but as you can see, the deaths are really starting to add up and affect his gold build up this game. Really struggling to get the money in.
He's got the ward down here. He sees Seb as well.
Oh, and he's got
asking for help.
As well. Smokes as well. They're moving straight over.
They're going to get Seb here. Toss him back to ILTW. Easy. Doesn't even have to use a diffusal. GH.
He's also caught Thompson.
And he's got a second hook.
He has. He's able to combo in onto Thompson.
He solos him.
As the one sharpshooter's not going to be enough. And now Anna Stone gets his fist.
He's in the wall as well.
Nigma's able to get in. RLTW and Miracle on top of the Medusa. Anna doesn't stand a chance.
Shredded.
Dire's top
GH, the hunter, the killer, again and again getting on top of Thompson, providing all this vision.
Oh boy, he's having a great time there, GH.
Yep.
And really making it look like Thompson just, he's got no, like what does he do?
He's got no out now.
Double hook shot. It's too much. 2 sets of hook shots, 2 sets of cogs. You can't shot really enough out of both of them.
He sees the support. He sees blood.
Right up to the fountain, pretty much.
That's a Rex. Maybe even potentially more.
I mean, at least, yeah, here, 36 to 21. 14k lead here for Nigma.
Going for the second one. ILTW, 2 full items on top of the Medusa at this point.
That's insane. I mean, they've just played it so fast.
Yeah. 36 kills, 32 minutes. So clean from the side of Team Nigma today.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Double Rexes, 17k gold lead. Even in the tier 4, why not?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's not a lot really that Nigma have to be scared of here. We'll see how much space they want to give them. I mean, if they want to stick around, they absolutely can.
They're just going to wait for somebody to show. They've got a chaotic offering as well at the ready after all these fights. They haven't had to use, actually, they haven't had to use it in most of the fights. It's been successful fights just from the initiations without the golem.
And Thompson and Saxa are trying to get out the base here with the smoke, see if they can catch any of Nigma splitting up.
Okay. Meta is still down. A glass though. 3-man catch. Look at the damage.
Big sharpshooter. They've got anything else to come on, they do. It's enough damage. ILTW will fall there as Thompson's able to set up with a huge burst of his ultimate. Miracle, he's back in though. GH also able to get the lead in onto Seb with the combo. Miracle's able to bring down Hotel. Second round of hook shot. He's on top of Seb. Seb's going to go down. As GH will get the kill, he'll also get out. TP's away, plays it safe, respects the buyback here from Saxa. Miracle still hanging around.
I know. He's quite alone.
Can Miracle do this with the back of a mind control and Kuroki? Not quite.
Hey,
Zombie starts to run. They put the stone gauge, but the wall's down. Bounce through the axe snake.
Kicks
Trying
him
to
back
kick
in.
Miracle back, so he's facing towards Adam, but Miracle's able to turn. Turns with another combo, in fact, and takes down Thompson. As he gets set up to pick up another kill, Anna trying to fight against the leather, but he's slowed. GH is back in with the hook jump. The mana's gone on Anna. Anna falls.
GH still hunting, as well as my control, still chasing forward. Saksa will be the sole survivor for his team. As Roche respawns, 20 seconds until ILTW does come back up, and he's got Meta at the ready as soon as he does.
Yeah, Nigma just continuing to just beat OG all over the place.
Oh, is No-Tail gonna show himself? Miracle, as soon as he sees him. Oh, he's jumping him. See you later, No-Tail. On to tier 4s. Oh, he throws the tree away. Doesn't even want it. He's just gonna punch it. That might be it. They do have buybacks.
They have a buyback on Anna.
But ILTW is running straight down the mid lane, and oh, a DD spawns top as well. If they do go back for Rush, if they can't clean up the game right now.
Just down.
But it's Lotus.
Yes, indeed. They'll still try and lead it on to GH, but GH turns with a hook shot straight in onto Saxon Thompson. Revving up the sharpshooter. Is he going to do any sort of sizable damage? It is onto ILTW, but Miracle on the front line pushing it back with the BKB. Combos down Saxa. I'll have the AA back up in a second, but now no Saxa.
They're ready to just end this.
They are. ILTW is going to continue pushing on. Stonegaze is back up in a second for Anna.
They've got wall back up in 10 seconds. Meta's popped.
Yeah, they're ready to close this up,
Dire's
Nigma.
middle tower has fallen.
Zoji, what can they do here with just the four of them? How can they stop ILTW from doing this? Miracle's able to jump straight away onto No-Tail, takes them out yet again. Back him onto the tree, the wall's dropped down. They're trying to scramble back towards the fountain, but the cogs are out. Anna can't get back to the fountain. As Nigma hold him outside of it, take him down. 100 seconds now, Anna, it's over. It really is. GG is called. As Nigma, I mean, they just really turn up here in game one. Nothing being held back. As we said, you know, it really was just Miracle and GH leading the charge throughout this whole game. As just as a unit, the aggression, it was perfect.